Thanks for having me, Karen. It's great to
Oh,
be on the show.
what a pleasure. What a pleasure. You are doing some amazing stuff, and you're the epitome of giving it a go. Like, get off the bench is about, look, just have a crack and have a go. But you're the epitome of that, because and the epitome of courage, because bloody hell, the things that you've done, you make me shake in my boots. I can tell.
I don't know. It's been a journey, I would say. Um, yeah, I think I've grown a lot over it's been 7 years now since I like came up with the idea,
Yeah.
and like it's had a lot of success in the last kind of couple of years. But yeah, it was definitely a really tough couple of years at the start while I was learning what I was doing and really navigating, yeah, starting a business and
Yeah.
creating a product and growing a team and working out money things. And yeah, so it's just been, yeah, definitely hasn't happened overnight. And there's been like a lot of failures and learnings along the way. So yeah, but yeah, thank you for your kind. That's very kind of you to say those
Oh,
things.
I'm going to stand by it. No matter how much you justify it, I'm standing by my word. It's
Oh, thank you.
absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, let's talk about this. So you the CEO, the founder of Merry People, the gumboots that are so fashionable and extraordinary.
Yeah.
How did it all eventuate that you started Merry People?
Well, it's interesting. Like growing up, I never actually thought I would be someone who would start a business. I don't know. Like I don't know why. Oh, yeah. It might have been because there weren't many women at home that I kind of saw that did that. But yeah, growing up, I wasn't really sure what I would do. I knew that I was a passionate person. I loved people. I felt that I had a good work ethic, and yeah, I always loved fashion and loved being creative, but I guess I didn't know what that would translate to as a career when I got older.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, no, I grew up quite practical, yeah, on a farm, and moved to Melbourne to finish my high school and went to uni up here, and yeah, it was actually on the first time I thought of the gumboot idea was when I was going to a music festival with some friends when I was probably 19 or 20. And I was looking for a cool pair of gumboots to wear to the festival, and couldn't find any that I thought were great. And a few of my friends were buying really expensive ones, and or they were buying kind of Bunnings, like a little bit cheaper gumboots. And I remember thinking at the time, I wish there was some kind of cool, more affordable gumboot. And at that moment, yeah, I was probably just more focused on passing my degree and, going to the pub on a Friday night with my friends, and just wasn't that, yeah, just again, probably didn't think that I would be someone that would start a business. And then, but yeah, said to myself, I hope someone one day creates a really cool gumboot like that. And then, yeah, in my later 20s, I found myself working in the corporate world at a bank. And it was, yeah, on my morning commutes to the Docklands, I was walking every day. And yeah, it's often quite windy and cold in the Docklands, as it is exactly like today in Melbourne, it's raining. And so, yeah, I was like, I just want a little waterproof pair of shoes I can wear to work, and then can still go out to the pub after or go camping on the weekends. And yeah, that wasn't like the farm boots we had back in Leongatha. It was something that was Melbourne appropriate, but also something I could wear back in the country if I wanted to. So yeah, that was kind of where the idea came from. And I guess as I kind of was working at ANZ, the longer I was there, yeah, I found that I was good at making things happen. Sounds pretty crazy, but I felt like I could make, I don't know, I felt like the more I worked, the more I felt like I was capable of executing on something. So I thought when I had this idea, I thought maybe I'll just have a go and see if I could create this and bring it to life, and what's in my head kind of come to life. So that's kind of where it all came from. And yeah, a bit of a journey. But
it's all very well to have an idea in your head, and then it's like, shit, now that I actually want to bring it to fruition, where do I get these things made and everything? So did you start thinking, okay, who can I ask to make this gumboot for me? Because clearly you don't have a gumboot making machine, in your lounge room. So how did you go about finding somebody to bring the product to life?
Yeah, so I started by doing a lot of research. So sorry, you can hear my dog running in the background. I started by doing a lot of research. I created an Excel document with all the tasks I wanted to do. And I guess that I was a project manager at ANZ, so that was kind of how I worked there. So I just put down things I wanted to learn more about, and just would write down notes along the way for each line, and would put dates that I wanted them all to be done by, and then just started watching a lot of YouTube videos on starting a business and getting a product made, boots made. And I started looking for suppliers. So I got a friend of mine to sketch my ideas. So I kind of sketched them on a piece of paper, and I got him to kind of put it into a PDF kind of format that I could present to suppliers. So once I had all that and I was happy with that, I started looking online and researching gumboot manufacturers in Australia. I contacted a couple of groups that can kind of help with sourcing in Australia, but I was unable to get the boots made here. So I went looking offshore and started. I reached out to factories in China, and many of them kind of want you to just buy off the shelf, so an existing product they had, but I really wanted to do my own designs. So I was going out to them asking if they could do that, and reach the lower minimum quantities that I wanted. And I think that's when I'd been having these Skype conversations. Skype, so that was doing Skype back then, not Zoom. I ended up jumping on a plane and going, I need to meet these people that I'm talking to and learn more about this. And that it was a big process, learning. And when I was over there, I realized after my first meeting that I had no clue what I was doing and needed some help. So I ended up doing some research that night online and finding what's called a trading agent. And I had them come out with me to the rest of my meetings, and they helped me navigate the manufacturing and supplier world, I guess, of China. And it's kind of how it all started. It took me a few months to kind of come up with a brand name. I knew I started with I guess a bit of a scrapbook, and I was writing down all the things that were inspiring me. I knew, and I wrote down lots of brands that I really liked, and why I liked them. And I started thinking about how people would be wearing the product. So for me, I was you're wearing gumboots, you're a happy person, you're, walking your dog in the park, you're at a music festival, or you're in the garden, you're doing happy things. And so for me, it just kept coming back to happiness. And that was why I was wanting to start the business as well. I was feeling somewhat unfulfilled in my corporate career, and looking for something with more meaning. So yeah, for me, everything kept coming back to happiness. So I kind of kept thinking, like, you're a happy person, like you're wearing gumboots. Like that was kind of just where I was at. I was just stuck on that word, happiness. And then one day I was just laying in bed and I was like, Mary is like really playful, and that's like a really kind of fun word. And so that's kind of where it came from. And I still love it to this day. Like I don't want to change it.
No, I love it. And I love that you say about your corporate, you know, before you said, you know, I was working for ANZ, I had this great job, great security, I could have stayed there forever. But I think that, you know, it's so important, isn't it, to say, well, what is success? You know, and success isn't about having a stable job with, for some people it is, you know, but having all the money, you know, to be secure. I think that you touched on it just then, and you said about having a meaningful life, you know, and having a happy life. And I think sometimes we overlook that there are other things in life and other ways to make that security, you know, and other ways to bring that meaning to our life. And I love that you're doing that.
Thank you. Like, I don't know, I feel that I'm also, I don't know, I feel like sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's idealistic in a way to kind of say that. And, you know, not everyone has the ability to, you know, do what I've done. I think I was young. I didn't have any financial commitments. I didn't have a family. And like, it was a little bit reckless, but I think I didn't have any, for me at that moment, I didn't have anything to lose except the money in my bank account, which for me wasn't, in that moment, like it wasn't, for me, the loss was not giving it a go. That was a bigger risk to me. But yeah, no, I definitely, I think where you can, I think it's important to think about happiness and what, you know, what your career or how you spend your time, what it actually gives you outside money. And yeah, because I think, like, I look at my life now, I'm still not earning the money that I was kind of earning at ANZ. Like, I'm not paying myself that much, and well, as much as that. But I'm like, I feel like my life is just so much happier and richer and has so much more meaning, and it's so much more exciting. And I feel like my conversations with my partner every evening are just, a lot. We've like, there's just more to it. So I think I feel a lot, obviously happier, but just, I feel like it's more successful in a way because of that.
Yeah. You started working every single Saturday, like slugging your ass off. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so when I left ANZ to do Merry People full time, like I had no other income, and I had no backup plan. So yeah, I actually started doing markets. So I was selling, but I do it sometimes Saturdays and Sundays, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, it was, packing, waking up early. Like, I'd pack the car the night before and drive down the coast or drive to some market and set up and talk to customers all day. And yeah, it was great. Like, it was probably the best thing one of the best things I did. I think a lot of, I think my learnings in terms of the startup world is one of the first things people say is like, talk to your customers and really understand your customer. And I think in retail, you know, you have that ability to do that through markets in a very organic way and learn more about who your customer is. And I did that. And I did that for 12 months. And I think you learn so much in that experience. And yes, it's really hard and not glamorous, and you miss out on a lot of social functions. But I got to kind of understand everything from when a customer picked up my product to when she transacted, purchased the boots, and all the questions that she was asking in that time. And that just helped me make sure I had all that information on my website, and it helped me kind of understand what was important to her generally. It's like some guys, but mostly women. But yeah, what was important to her about that transaction, and I think that really helped me. And when I started doing the digital stuff, I kind of knew all this information about my customer, and it really helped inform that. So yeah, it was really hard. It was I was burnt out. There were, you know, times where I did markets where I made 0 sales and wake up and yeah, still the same amount of effort, and you'd kind of get home, and it was definitely some tough days there where you kind of, it didn't make sense financially, but then you'd have other days that were amazing, so you kind of had to look at it as a whole picture. And kind of in the times where it didn't work, I kind of was like, all right, well, that was good market research, or I'll try that market one more time, and if it doesn't work, then I won't do that one again.
You get the supplier from China, and then now you've got to buy a bulk quantity, because you're not going to buy 10 pairs to see how it goes. You've got to invest and buy a container load or whatever you had to buy, you know, to a minimum order quantity to bring it out. Did you have I know you did the markets, but did you have supply distributors lined up, or did you just wing it and think, oh shit, what am I going to do with all these boots?
Pretty much. I had a couple of retailers, you know, who wanted to make orders, but nothing much. Like, yeah, you've got to, my first order was like thousands. You've got to do like 1,000 per color. So yeah, I had, you know, a couple of stockists that were interested in buying, you know, but they buy like 20 or 30 at a time. So wasn't too much of a dent in it. But yeah, I just put the boots. I had a contact to a good friend of mine had a warehouse, and he very kindly let me put my boots in his warehouse. And I just was slowly, and wasn't charging me a lot in rent. So, and I guess I financed the inventory myself, so I didn't have, you know, a bank that were wanting me to pay it back in a certain amount of time. So yeah, I just kind of put them all in there, and then just started chipping away at selling them, I guess. And yeah, I in my mind I was like, oh, I guess worst case I can ship them all back to my parents' farm and put them in the shed and work out what to do with them. Everyone in the district has gumboots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little bit bold and naive there. And yeah, that was my plan.
Yeah, but you know, you believed in it, and so now you've got like a great lot of distributors, you know, all over Australia and America, and I think you got UK coming up too. Is that?
Yes.
Did I? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But we do sell our boots through some stores, and they're mostly smaller, like independent boutique stores. So in Gippsland, we have Mooka in Warragul and Inblock, and then Mika and Max in Meenian. And we sell through them, and they do really well, but we mostly sell online. So we're like a direct to consumer brand, and that's kind of that's where I see us growing.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of such a steep learning curve, isn't it? You know, when you start a business, it's like I wouldn't have even known it wouldn't, if I had a product, I'd be thinking about, well, storing it in, booting one of the kids out of their room and, you know, storing it there and shipping it out. And it wouldn't.
Well, I should say that's how it started. It did start with a warehouse, so my friend's warehouse, and I had all that, you know, thousands of stock there, and then I'd go there once a week and fill up my golf with gumboots and bring it back, and that went under my bed or in my bedroom, and that was I was fulfilling out of my bedroom to start with. So it was when it started growing, and I was going to the post office daily with, you know, a trolley, and then I was like looking at what the minimums were to outsource it, because it is timely, like doing all the labels, and you spend a couple of hours a day packing orders, and you've got to kind of think about, well, how is your time best spent? And if you can get better rates with a pick and pack group, then it might be more appropriate. But it's about when and if it's right for your business and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, it's absolutely fascinating, and it's a steep learning curve. You've navigated it so well. Your courage is unbelievable. And I know you're not going to say agree with me, but I don't care. I'm saying it anyway, whether you agree. But
Thank you. Too
my,
kind.
my pleasure. It's evident, like it's grown to be a multi-million-dollar company. You're outsourcing, like it has grown exponentially, and and you deserve that. But more evidence to say that you are doing the right thing and that people see you the way I do, because you're never going to, because we never see ourselves like that. You were named, I'm going to read this because if I don't want to bugger this up, you were named in the top 50 people in Australian e-commerce in 2020. Coming in at number 12. Wow. So that's brilliant. And did that surprise you? Did you go, I don't think I'm that good? It surprised you?
Yes, it surprised me because I got a mentor of mine. He actually nominated me, and I guess they then send you a bunch of questions and you go through, like, I guess, a bit of a process. And they, so then the day before the event, one of the organizers contacted me and wanted a higher resolution photo of me. And so, I think when that happened, Emma in my marketing team, we just kind of were like, oh my goodness, why do they want this photo? Like, what is going to happen tomorrow night? And so, it was really nice. It was, obviously you don't start a business for awards or to win these kind of accolades, but it's a nice, I guess, industry recognition. And it made, definitely, I think, my team and definitely myself, my family, it was like, okay, great. Like, this is, a really nice, just a nice recognition. So
that's fantastic. And I know you're big on team culture and really, really taking care of your staff. You got 7 staff, I think. Is it a team of 7? Is that right?
Yes, 7, but I'm hiring 2 more now. So we'll be 9, I guess, by the time I go on I'm going on mat leave in July. So before that happens, I've got 2 more staff joining. So it's really important to me. Like, I guess going back to that value on happiness and why I did the brand, I want my staff equally to feel happy when they come to work and they can be their full true self and feel like their crazy, wacky ideas are accepted, and that Merry People's a place where you can learn and grow and have fun. I don't want it to be, and again, maybe I'm a little bit idealistic, but I don't want it to be a typical workplace where it's like, and obviously everyone will have those moments at times, but I want everyone to genuinely like coming to work and believe in what they're like working towards. So it is very important to me, and I do try and invest a lot of time and effort into that.
And for anybody watching the visual, because on YouTube here, you'll see that Dani's constantly holding her face up, trying to keep herself awake, because she's absolutely knackered. She's absolutely knackered, but she's just, as she said, just been doing interviews this morning to employ 2 new staff. And what you might not have heard her sneak out very, very quickly in between lines there was she's going on, she said, mat leave, but she's actually having a baby. And so I think that's an exhausting thing to do, is try and hire staff while you're just about, she's only, only a couple of months off having the baby. So how's that going to change things for you?
It will change things a lot. Well, I guess it doesn't change my vision and what I want for the company. Like, nothing there changes. But in terms of my role, I feel great in the sense that already a lot of the day-to-day, the third-party logistics group, they do all our orders. We've got a great operations team, a really strong, strong marketing team. So I guess I feel like the day-to-day stuff is mostly taken care of currently. But there's a few, I guess the 2 roles. I'm hiring a product person and a CFO to just help take some of that, because I do all the product stuff at the moment and financial stuff. So just hiring them and having a couple of months with them before I'm not around. But yeah, like I'm going to take 3 months off, and but I'll still be available, and then I'm just gonna see how it will go. I've also got an amazing partner who, like, I can't speak more highly enough of, who, yeah, he also is a founder and a CEO, co-founder, I should say, and CEO. And I think he's awesome because he doesn't have any expectations of me, like as a female or anything, like in terms of what I should be doing. So we'll just try and tackle it the best we can as a team and get support where we need. And yeah, but I think we're like just both fortunate now to be in a position where we've got staff, and you know, the day-to-day operations will still go ahead, can happen without us there. So yeah,
that's great.
I feel good. Maybe I'm going in a bit naive, like I feel good about it.
No, keep feeling good about it. That's the only way to be. And when you talked about your partner, I love that he's not expecting you, you know, to be the one that, you know, has to have all the sacrifices and everything else. And I think, you know, we need more men like that. When you said he was a founder CEO, like, you know, apples don't fall far from the tree, do they? They connect. What's he the CEO and founder of?
So co-founder. So we a social enterprise in Melbourne called Homey. So they train and employ young people experiencing homelessness and help provide pathways out of homelessness. So they work in the store and they get a retail training accreditation with Homey, and then they have partnered organisations. So once they've finished their time with Homey, they go into an employment pathway, and they're supported with Homey and through that organisation. So yeah, it's really amazing. And Nick and I met through like a business contact, and I was like, wow, this is such a great thing. And I think it was initially, I think when we met, like the gentleman who introduced us wanted us to do like a collab of some sort, but yeah, we ended up dating.
And having a baby.
Now we're engaged and having a baby. So yeah, it's been, I guess, a different sort of collab.
I think that's fantastic. What advice would you give to somebody who has a great idea for a product but feels that that actually creating it, the actual product is beyond their capacity? What advice would you give them?
So I would say, just to start, you don't have to necessarily go ahead with the prototype or the actual development, but I would say it'd be like to research. YouTube, even today I still watch, like I'm still learning along this journey. It doesn't stop. So yeah, I would say go onto YouTube and start researching, talking to the customer group of whatever that product is, like try and get as much information about it as possible. If it was, I don't know, I'm trying to think, but talk to stores, like just talk to anyone where you can learn more about that particular product and that end user, and do some research on the market. So what other similar products are out there, like how is your product different? And then I would say just start writing down a bit, like you don't even have to call it a business plan, like just start writing down your ideas, all the things you're learning, and where you see it growing, and start there. I think a lot of people just have an idea and it's all in their head, and and then you kind of get on with the day-to-day things of life, and then it kind of just slips away. But if you just start writing things down in a document and what you're learning, and then you can kind of, once you've got an idea of what the product is and how it will work and your offering, where you sit in your market, then you can start looking at potential people to make that product. And you can also research that online. So just find suppliers and see if someone can get someone in Australia to make a prototype. Like I know with my story, it a lot of people think they need to jump on a plane and go to China. But there is manufacturing options in Australia, and I do kind of think that, at least at the start, especially, like, it's great to get a product done here and get your product done right. I think if you can, the volumes you've got to get overseas are quite high, and the risk and all of that. But if you start here, you can hopefully get it made locally and get a smaller run, and you can, because you will, like, your first prototype won't be, it's hard to get it right the first time, so it's good to get that, show it to your customers, talk to them, get feedback. If you're wanting to sell it into a retail store, take that prototype in and just say, what do you think of this, and how does this rate compare to your other products in that similar category? What do you think on price point? And just, I think just take it slow, but that's how I would, and just keep putting everything down in a document. And I don't know, that's just how my mind works, because especially if you've got a full-time job, or you've got kids, or you've got other commitments, it can just easily get mixed up. And it is a lot starting a business, and it is a lot of time and financial commitment. So to keep all that knowledge somewhere, at least you work, chip away at it.
Now, where can people find you? Like website, Facebook, email, Instagram, not email, but all of that kind of stuff.
So our website is www.merrypeople.com, or if you just type Merry People in Google, will come up. So you can find our website there. And on Facebook, I think we're Merry People Rainwear. And then on Instagram, we're Merry People. So, or just at Merry People. So we're in Collingwood. We're just on Johnson Street. We've got an office there, but that's where people can find us online.
Fantastic. I've absolutely loved chatting with you today. You're just beautiful. You got the most beautiful heart. You got just the kindest personality. You're full of optimism. You're full of idealism, which I absolutely love.
Oh, thank you. Very kind, Karen. No, I mean, I really loved our chat as well. And thanks so much for reaching out and having me. I think we spoke in sale, like, it's important for me. Sometimes it can be a little bit uncomfortable, like, and I've become more comfortable, but like sharing my story. But I hope that, especially for women out there, but I hope that it does. If someone is starting a business, or if someone's thinking about it, that hopefully it can just give them some ideas on how to go about things, and hopefully
and some courage and inspiration, and I think we all think our own story is bloody boring. It's kind of like, what do I want to talk about myself, or who cares? Who gives, but I think that we need to share our stories, because there is always somebody out there who gets a pick me up, when we share that stuff about ourselves. So I truly appreciate you sharing with us, and I'm so happy to have you on here. So, and you're very worthy of any podcast. You're just amazing. So
thank you so much. No, I've loved being here. So thank you.
My pleasure. Well, thank you, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.